I'm out here in my backyard, uh, giving you guys an update on my mole situation. I got on my muscle shirt because I wanted you guys to continue to see my tattoo, and don't forget that I'm inked up. Let y'all see my tattoo. Y'all see that? My brother's inked up. But I came out here in my backyard to give y'all an update on my mole situation. Y'all know that Marvin, the mole whisperer, has successfully, how you doing, Nucky? Has successfully eradicated his backyard of moles. How you doing, Audrey? And so I'm back here surveying my vast domain, making sure that I'm the only thing running this yard, and that I'm still in control, and that I have no problems with moles. All of my moles are still gone. My yard still looks like a mess. My yard is still a mess. I want to show you, because it hadn't rained in a few days, and I want to show you where the moles were holed up. They say that they make dens under, under trees, shady trees. And hey, how you doing, Nuck? And so I want to show you just how ugly it looks. That's the tree that I think they had their den under. You see that? This is where I got the last mole. And this is, I think that's where they had their den. You see all these things around this tree? These are all, I ran over my sonar thing. It was doing absolutely nothing anyway. And, but this is all kind of activity around this tree. So I believe that this is where their den was. See all that, all these things. So I believe that this is where their den was. So, but we eradicated the moles. And again, we are doing mole eradication consulting. We will come, look at your yard, determine what needs to be done to eradicate your moles. But I feel like that there are a lot of people that will not feel comfortable with me coming to their house just because of my tattoo, because I'm inked up. My tattoo. For some of you that don't know what it says, it's actually my wife's name. It says Marcia. It doesn't say mole man. It doesn't say Marvin, though some of you think I'm that vain to have my own name tattooed on my own arm. But no, it says Marcia. And so, as you can see, I'm still mole free. Still very much mole free. Show you some of the damage that they did, though. This, and this is, you can see this is mole activity. They actually, you see the little hole there? And they actually went up into the flower bed and and then they not only went to the flower bed, but they went up under the flower bed up under these rocks. And I actually think that they actually went under this concrete pad. But we caught one, me and Dave caught one working here. And we just knew we had it because it was working. And so we were going to do the Dave technique of putting, getting a shovel behind it, and then digging it up, and it being alive because of where it was. But of course, Dave's technique did not work, and we ended up losing the mole. And the mole continued to terrorize me in my yard, and has done, you could see, extensive damage. But we kept plugging away. We kept using different techniques. I used mothballs. I used chewing gum, juicy fruit. I used the sonar thing. I used what else? Traps. I did catch one with a trap. I did kill one with a trap. I did use everything, and ended up catching or killing two of them just randomly just jabbing the shovel into the ground. So if you are not afraid of my tattoo of an inked man coming to your yard, I will come and do some mole consulting and tell you exactly what you need to do to eradicate the moles from your yard. Jerry Rudd wanted to know if I used anointing oil. No, I didn't, because I didn't want to bring in the big guy on moles. I mean, moles, pray and ask God to. I love the thrill of dealing with them and chasing them and trying to catch them, outsmarting them. But I did use Dawn. I did pour Dawn, D-A-W-N, down the hole, and it did absolutely nothing. I think they used that Dawn to take a bath with while they were chewing the bubble gum, and using the sonar stick as a stripper pole in their living room. So, but if you're not scared of a inked up guy, tattoo guy coming to your house, giving you advice on how to get rid of moles, then I'll be glad to give you a free estimate, free consulting. We'll consult with you we don't charge a fee to consult with you. Then if you want our services, that's a different matter. If you want our mole services, Dr. Marvelous Marvin's mole eradication service, then we're gonna have to talk, finances. But it's very affordable, for minimal fee, we will eradicate your yard of moles. Another thing I wanted to call your attention to is my haircut. I got me post COVID haircut. My daughter finally cut my hair. Yeah, free assessment. My daughter finally cut my hair yesterday. And I don't know why it's so hard to get her to cut my hair. I pay her. It's not like I'm trying to get, something free because she's my daughter. I'm not saying, well, you're my daughter, you need to make time for me. I think that, but I don't necessarily say that. I just say, fit me in. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to, take care of you. I'm going to pay you what you charge. And a lot of times I'll give her more than she charges. So I'm glad of my haircut. See, she got that fade thing going. And I got to admit, I look pretty good with this. Let me see on this side. I can't get it on this side. Yeah, there it is. See that? She does a good job of fading. And so I like for her to cut my hair And it's hard to get her to do that, to fit time in, because she schedules people and she comes down here from Louisville to do hair. And so she finally realized yesterday that she has to put me on the schedule to get, you hear what I'm saying? Put her daddy on the schedule to cut his hair. 20 minutes. And she can't fit her daddy in. But yesterday she did, and I paid her. So again, if you need mole services, you need my mole services. Hey, Amy said, between the haircut and the selfie stick, your head looks much. That's the only reason I'm using the selfie stick, is because when I have it up here, see how big my head looks when I don't use a selfie stick? So I'm going to use a selfie stick because it makes my head look much more close to normal. And the haircut, I really do like the haircut. Now, really, one of the reasons I wanted to get on here is to thank the messenger for the articles. Some of y'all read the 3-part series, and after that first day, I got to admit, I was sweating like a black man at a Klan's rally, because I thought the messenger trying to start some stuff, but I really think it was, don't call him for service, he don't show up. It's a trap, y'all. See how people do? But I really do think that they pretty well got it right. I think that they kind of changed some of the quotes to, to be more palatable, or, well, not palatable, but to have a little bit more flair, you know what I'm saying? But overall, I think that they really, really did try to be fair and balanced. They were not trying to sensationalize, which I thought after the first day, I'm telling you, I was sweating. I was sweating. Because I thought, man, these folks, they trying to start something. They ain't trying to tell our story. They're trying to stir up stuff. But I really do. I think we were, number one, nervous. So I really do think that they were very, very fair. And so I wanted to thank the people at Messenger. I know they get a bum rap. Well, not a bum rap. They probably get, but they are always called into question. And so I wanted to go on record to say that they really did do a pretty fair and balanced job on all 3 articles. Even the first day was not as bad as we thought it was after reading it a few times and getting feedback from people. So that's all. We just, we just want to listen to each other and want to be heard, and not just dismiss people and dismiss people's experiences and say, well, you have no right to feel that way, or you have no right to think that way when you don't know my experiences. And so it's just, they tell you, even in relationships, husband and wife, relationship, man and woman, that you don't just dismiss people's feelings. You don't say, well, you don't have a right to feel that way, or you're wrong to feel that way. They tell you that you listen and say, okay, I'm trying to understand why you feel the way you feel, and I'm trying to understand your experiences and what you're dealing with. I think this bird is trying to attack me. But so that's what's going to make a difference, is dialogue and activity, not just talking about things, but really listening to each other and trying to find out what can we do to make things better. I believe this mockingbird is trying to set me up for something, to poop on my head probably. Let me get out from under this tree. But so again, I'm a preacher. I get to rambling, chase rabbits and all this stuff. But I just wanted to thank the messenger for being pretty fair and balanced in their representation of all 4 of us. My grandson Jariah was in the article, as you know. Leonard, who is a minister in our church, and Tanya Bowman, who is what is it, circuit court clerk, something or other. county clerk. She works at the courthouse. And so I think that they really did do a pretty good job of communicating our experiences and the things that we said. So I wanted to thank them. That mole, I think the moles are scared to come to my yard now, and I think that my reputation as a mole slayer has preceded me, and I think that they are getting the word out. Do not come to that yard. Do not, and I think that they know better than to come to my yard. But anyway, I thank all you guys for those of you who really are trying to understand, those of you who are really trying to listen instead of just dismissing people and saying that doesn't exist, this is not real, you don't have a right to feel that way, because you don't know people's experience. You do not know what people have gone through and what they have dealt with. And so somebody, who is this, Ed Ramsey, said the most important thing we can do is listen. Yeah, it starts with listening to one another and not just dismissing people. And we can listen on both sides. I remember, and not jumping to conclusions, I remember a guy that I know and I like, he says, I like policemen. And my mind immediately went to, okay, if he's saying he liked policemen, he's letting it be known that he doesn't like black people, or that if things come down between black people and a policeman, he's going to take the policeman's side no matter what. How did I get all that out of I love the policeman? Because I could go on there, I could post something on Facebook saying, I like the police. I love the police. I got friends that are policemen. I could have said that. And so, but you see how a lot of times we jump to conclusions and we think, okay, if I say, if somebody posts, I like policemen or I respect policemen, then we automatically think that they're saying, I don't like black people or I don't trust black people. And that's not the case. This guy, I've done ministry with him, and it's okay for him to say, I like the police. Now, I don't think he liked many people, period, black or white, but I'm just kidding. But why would I make that leap? Because he said, I like the police. It's the same thing as if somebody says, like, Black Lives Matter. Why do you make the leap that they're saying that all lives don't matter? I mean, in other words, let's listen to one another. And I hope that don't offend anybody, but I'm just saying, why do we make these leaps and automatically go to say, well, you're saying this, well, you're inferring that, well, you're making this point, and that's not the case. Let's listen to what we're saying. Let's listen to each other and really try to understand each other and not assume. You know what they say about assuming. You know what they say about assuming, don't you? And so let's really use this time that we're in to try to see some things positive happen, positive things happen, and continue to move in a positive direction, and stop assuming. Instead, say, okay, he said that. That's what he meant. Say, okay, how about inbox and say, what did you mean by that? Or what are you saying? And then if they act ignorant, then you can block them. No, I'm just kidding. But let's try to listen to people and not make leaps and not make assumptions. Because it's like dealing with moles. If you think and you assume that one thing will work in eradicating moles, then you're probably going to be disappointed. You're going to always have moles. You're going to always be battling moles, because you know what worked? And I've had people to say, I got a sonar stick, it worked wonders. Well, I got a sonar stick, it didn't work wonders. So why are we arguing about the sonar stick? The sonar stick, it couldn't have worked in your yard because it didn't work in my yard. Maybe it worked in my yard, but it didn't work in your yard. But why am I arguing with you about your experience? You say the sonar stick worked for you. So why would I assume that it didn't? Why would I assume that you're lying or that you're trying to lead me astray? Why won't I just say, okay, it worked for you, but it didn't work for me? And why would you say, if the sonar stick worked for you, why would you say, I don't believe you. I don't believe that the sonar stick didn't work. I know it worked. It worked for me. I bought one, and maybe you got a cheap one, or maybe something. And did you look at the package before you buy, and all that stuff? Now, how about just believing me that it didn't work for me? And that your sonar stick worked for you. It may be the difference in the yard. It may be difference in the soil. It may be a difference in the grass. It may be a difference in so many different things that could have gone into why it worked for you and why it didn't work for me. But it's ridiculous for us to assume that people are wrong because their experience is different than other people's experiences. So why would I say your experience is not the true experience? Your experience is not the true experience. That is true for me. It may not be true for it may not be match your experience, but it is a true experience for me. And so instead of dismissing me, why not listen to me and say, well, okay, it didn't work for you. It worked for me. I'm going to believe you that you say it doesn't work for you. So what do we need to do to get rid of your moles? What can we do? What can we do to see that you don't have any more moles? Rather than saying, well, you just stuck with your moles, then you're going to try to say that the stick didn't work for you. I know it does work, and you're wrong for that. And you just trying to make an excuse to keep your little moles, and on and on and on. Why not just say, okay, what can we let's get together. Okay, the stick worked for me. It didn't work for you. But let's get together and see how I can help you eradicate your moles. What can I do to help you get rid of your moles? Don't assume I want to keep my moles just because the stick didn't work for me like it worked for you. Because the whole point is to rid the world of moles. That's it. We want to get rid of moles. Both of us. We agree that moles are bad. We don't want moles tearing up anybody's yard. So let's get together, see how we can get rid of moles. All right, I'm getting off of here. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I want to give you one more look at my tattoo. And you can see how a good guy. Lord, I can't even see the tattoo. You see that? I'm inked up, and I'm proud of it. I got my hair cut, and I'm proud of it. And I'm still mole free, and I'm proud of it. And not only am I proud to be rid of my moles, I can help you get rid of your moles. It may not be with the sonar stick. The traps may not work, but I believe I can help you get rid of your moles because I love you enough to want to see you free of your moles. I want to see you mole free. Hey, I'm just messing with everybody. We love you guys. Y'all pray. Let's pray for each other. Oh, here she comes. The boss is coming. I got to get off here. She didn't know I was out here filming. Here she comes.